Welcome to another episode of the Pell City Podcast, and excited for this conversation because it's a friend and he is a pillar in the community. He's doing some great work with athletics, and that's right up my alley. And see, I dress for the occasion, got me some throwback vintage wear on. To let him know. But anyway, before we jump in, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and comment, of course, about the Pell City Podcast on social media. We are on all platforms, and please follow us. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because we would definitely appreciate that. You can listen on all podcast platforms and, of course, watch full episodes on YouTube. All right. So here we go. He is the head men's basketball coach at Gadsden State Community College. Since 2017, he's had stops at Lawson State Community College, but he started his coaching career at Wenonah High School, where he led his team to 3 Final Four appearances and a state championship. We're going to talk about that, D. And so far at Gadsden State, he has led the Cardinals to 6 winning seasons and has coached the 2023 Alabama Community College Player of the Year. He has excelled in education. He's been a player and a coach, which is a great feat. And in 1989, he was awarded the Birmingham Times Athlete of the Year in basketball and baseball. And he was inducted into the 2012 class of Miles College Sports Hall of Fame. He holds associate degrees, bachelor's, and master's degrees, and he considers an athlete's personal development an important part of his role and encourages them to pursue a career and life goals. He is Coach D. Tarver. Welcome to the Pell City Podcast. So the season is underway. The 2025-20 season is officially underway now. You got to be in it to win it. With basketball, because it's constant. 3 days a week is not uncommon. But what's the mindset and the energy so far with your team this year?
Well, mindset, this year is we got to stay positive. We're very young this year, so a lot of guys with a big adjustment from high school, maybe playing 1 day a week, then maybe to 3 days a week. You still have class, you still have workouts, you still have study halls. So it's a big adjustment for the 11 freshmen that we have.
Yeah, how do you prepare them for it? Because you're right, you go and it turns into it being a hobby, I guess you could say, for lack of a better word, to a job, because you got to put the work in once you get to the college level.
Yes, ma'am. I explain to them all the time, college is just like the everyday work day that the parents, grandmothers, aunties, and uncles does. College prepare you to see, can you stay up and function for, 8 hours, 10 hours, or 12 hours, whatever your job desires. So college just prepare you to do that. But along the way, if you're an athlete, you got stops, like I said, study hall, you got film section, then plus you got practice. So that's what it's like getting paid. You get paid to go to school.
Absolutely. Best job in the world too, because you get a chance to pursue your passion. Now, early on in the season, building team chemistry and setting the tone for the season, your job as the coach, what tools and tactics and things like that do you use that, you've seen to be, because you've coached several seasons at Gadsden State. So, how do you continue to get that excellence and that standard, with some of those team building tactics and things like that you use with the players?
Well, this year we're doing a lot of teaching, and we're doing a lot of, talking. So like I tell the guys, I'm not here to make you a basketball player thinking that everybody's going to make NBA, everybody's going to go overseas and play ball, the G League. I'm here to try to develop, leadership and develop young men into men. I tell them all the time, the best conversation I can get is when a job referral call me and ask me what I think about somebody that has played for me over the years. So this year, we're doing a lot, as a coaching staff, we're doing a lot of teaching and talking. That's the 2 T's, teaching and talking right now.
Yeah. So how many players on the roster?
This is currently 14 on the roster. but
Okay.
11 of those 14 are freshmen. So this is their first time entering college, first time, being in a situation where they had to wake up themselves, have to prepare for a day-to-day operation, take care of themselves because no mama, no dad, a sister, brother, auntie, uncle, nobody waking you up to go to class. We give you a
Mm.
schedule that day or that week to follow, and you have to follow it, just like, me as a coach. I have to follow that schedule if I give you a schedule.
Any of the players from around the area and some of them that, recognizable names that you got on the roster?
Well, right now we only have one kid from Jefferson County and city of
Okay.
Birmingham, Parker High School, Nathaniel Henley Jr. Got more. I got four kids out of the state of Georgia, three kids out of East Chicago, which is Indiana, three kids out of Florida. So we got a mixture of kids this year. So
And,
it's kind of sort of different for me because going into
okay.
basketball kind of overlaps two years. So going into my 19th year there, I think this is the youngest team I ever had, and we did kind of set the mold for future teams and in the past because everybody knows. I mean, we the only team program in the state of Alabama, junior college basketball, that has a 3.0 GPA or better. That has
Mm,
never been done. I don't know in the history, I guess, but it never been done since I've been in, coaching college basketball here in Alabama. So to have a 3.0 GPA, that means all personnel that's on scholarship must have, you know, somebody might have a 2.7, but we got somebody
mhm,
with a 3.3 equals out to a 3.0. So we was
mhm,
recognized for that in the spring of last year. So I think we hyping on that. And IEP, thank for him, Coach Lewis, as well as Dr. Smith, which is our president, and Dr. Simmons, which is our vice president. We just kind of push kids more to become a student athlete, not more kids just think you come to college just play basketball and have fun. So we
mm,
push. We have a study hall set up in our gym, so there's no reason why you couldn't go to study hall. You log in just like you going to class. So each guy
mhm.
uh, have 5 hours a week, which is not that's not that much time out of your schedule to do that.
Right. Now I've met a few of the guys and I'm excited to, be able to watch some of them play because, kind of behind the scenes off the court, you get a chance to see some of their personalities and then you turn on that switch once you get on the court and you see a totally different person. So I know that that's been rewarding, like you said, for you, to see those guys develop into young men and ultimately leaders, in the community. Now, you are doing something this year, kind of reaching back to a certain degree. You're hosting a tournament that's going to include some high school teams and your college teams. Let's talk about that a little bit. And I get a chance to moonlight and do my little persona and be your DJ for the tournament. So I'm really excited about participating in that. But yeah, let's talk about the tournament that you got coming up.
Well, what we got going this year, I met a gentleman who's the county commissioner in Etowah County. And he told me that they used to do a Gadsden State Classic area between, around Thanksgiving. And it hadn't been done, and I know probably 15.
Mm,
And I decided to bring it back this year with some help and support of the county and the city. So we're gonna do a Gas State Classic rebirth of it. We got Gadsden City High School gonna play both days, and that's November 21st and 22nd. And we got teams coming from Birmingham. We have teams coming from Indiana. We have one team come out of Georgia. So we'll have three games on the 21st, three games on the 27th. We're gonna have giving away prizes. We're gonna let all kids under the age of 5 in free of charge. We're gonna have a DJ this year, so we're gonna try to have a good time on November 21st and 27th.
well, I'm excited about it. What the guys think? What does the team think about it?
Well, they eager to get a chance to they give them an opportunity to work and get a chance to interact with the people out in the community. Besides we only go and interact with the younger kids in the schools and stuff, so they don't get a chance to see many adults and people from surrounding areas. But they will
Mhm.
get a chance to meet some of they'll be working the tournament. They'll be the ones giving away prizes, working the concession stand, working the door. So that's just, something we get, give back.
And showing, that they can take some leadership positions and really make names for themselves, off the court, which is important.
Right, right. And the teams in the past, players in the past, have set the tone. They ain't come back. I saw two of them came back our first game, and they was up working in the concession stand. And the current guys see the past guys coming back. They still have what they call, I didn't know they still have a Gadsden State formal player chat. So it's guys still
Okay.
chatting with each other from 6, 7 years ago. And, they know when they play a game at their current schools, and it's kind of hard. I kind of I graduated 6 guys last year, and all 6 guys went on to 4-year schools, and playing, continue their career. So I started this year trying to go to a game. I'd already been to Alabama A&M game, already been to a Tennessee Southern game, but like I tell you, it's kind of hard when you got, family as well as kids, grandkids as well that's involved. So pretty much every night out of 7 days a week, every night I'm dealing with something related to basketball.
So basketball has been, pretty much your life since high school.
Basketball, probably, high school basketball, probably ever since I was maybe 3 or 4 years old, because growing up in the Kingston community projects, I had a basketball goal, and I stayed like right across the street from the gym, the outside and the inside. So I was going over playing basketball pretty much for 40-some years, 50 years almost.
Man. So it's been real for you, but you did your job in high school, and you were recognized as the athlete of the year by the Birmingham Times. Where'd you play high school ball?
Woodlawn High School, and that
It
was
was.
kind of surprising because also that year uh, I received awards called the Billy Bancroft Award. That's the top athlete in the school that played
Mhm.
2 sports, and actually I did 3 sports because I also did the field part of track and field. I did long jump and triple jump. So I just kind of stay involved, and I tell people the more you stay involved with something, the better your chances are kind of staying out of a lot of trouble. Not some trouble, but a lot of it, because you're always able to get into a little of it as
Yeah,
a young man.
absolutely. And so you ended up choosing basketball to go on to the next level.
And it was just a spur of the moment. I never thought I would coach
Okay.
basketball. Coaching, at the YMCA, coaching in the part with my son, and so it was. I never know I'd make it to the level, but my roommate that played ball with me at Miles College, he ended up getting a coaching job at Woodlawn, and he thought it'd be a good thing to bring, somebody back that played and people respecting the community. Unfortunate situation. One of the local principal that worked in the city of Birmingham, springboarded me over, had a couple of successful AAU programs. That springboarded me over to Lawson State, and
Mhm.
that's how Lawson State led to becoming. I was interim head coach 2 years there, and ended up, you know, being getting the job at Gadsden State. And that was a kind of I ain't never thought I would. Never had any interest. The athletic director at the time called over there and asked him could he speak to me. So that's how that conversation started. Me and him kind of met a couple of times. He just said he needed a change in the program up at Gadsden. So I became the first Afro American coach at the institution in 100 years. So it was, I was
Man,
the
okay.
first. I was the first. So it was interesting. But now it feel like I'm kind of getting old up there because right now I'm the only coach in all our sports that's been there this many years. So they
Okay.
kind of lean on me and ask questions all the time about something, paperwork, crew wise, something. So me and athletic director has a great relationship. So he's that he respects me and I respect him, but he wants the
Mhm.
best out of all his programs, but he expects I think out of me because I just set the tone. So I've been
Well,
pretty successful there.
I've seen you on the sidelines, and you pretty intense. But I want to go back, and touch on the time that you were at Wenonah, coaching. You helped to lead your team to the state championship.
Yeah, one,
You
and I did
won
one.
state championship.
I did one. We it was a rocky start in '04 when I first started over there, but
Mhm.
in Cedric Lane, which we went to Miles together.
Okay,
We
you were
both,
there with Coach Lane.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we both had a vision for the program, and him and me just got along real well. I mean, like I said, we turned the program around in about 3 years, started winning, and after that first state championship, I remember I called him. I was on my way back to Florida with my AAU program that
Mhm.
finished ninth in the tournament. The first time we had a team bid, that's in 19, I think maybe 87, 88. And I called him. I said, folks at Lawson offered me the assistant job over there. And I said, I'd have thought about it. I'm gonna take it. And, he wished me well, and I continue on. I recruit players from there. I think this is probably the first year I don't have a kid from Wenonah on the roster.
Okay.
And I went over to Lawson State. Started that summer of 2010.
Okay.
So
Well, let me tell you about my Wenonah. How we our paths are similar. Wenonah used to give us fits when I played at Pell City. Boy, we could not run with Wenonah for nothing. But we did win a state championship though. But I think
okay,
I think even the year that we won state, we lost we lost to Wenonah. So the Wenonah, shout out to the Wenonah girls basketball team way back when. They had some athletes there. And what's crazy is I ended up playing with the twins that played against in high school at Montevallo.
okay,
So that's our Wenonah, similar Wenonah stories. We've, walked at least the gym, back then and all. But shout out to Wenonah. They wore and y'all wore black and gold too. So
same color, same color.
same, same,
I
same.
tell I tell people laugh. I still got three of my favorite sweatsuits are still, Wenonah sweatsuits. I didn't
You
go.
still
I
wear
did.
them?
Wear them around in the community sometimes.
Okay.
They keep because over the years you accumulate so many stuff. I still got one or two
Yeah.
Lawson State sweatsuits, but they just was favorite sweatsuits. And I was in
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas, and I had on one, and the guy ran me down. He said, "You don't coach at Lawson State?" I said, "No, I just became the coach at Gadsden State." He like
Okay.
he like, yeah, he said, I just looked y'all up on my telephone. There was another man, but I looked up your name. They said gas and state. I like, hey man, this good warm sweatshirt to have on. How cold it was in Dallas, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I still have which is crazy. I still have my warm up suit from Pell City. It's a black and white one. I got on. I actually have on my uniform now. I don't have on the bottoms, but I can still wear it. So maybe that's a good sign that I've pretty
yeah.
much
It,
tried
it
to
makes me
take care.
sometimes think I can still play, but I can't play.
Now, I don't fool myself with that now.
Yeah,
But do you still have you still got your ring from when y'all won state?
yeah, I still got my ring. Like,
Look, I got my little hardware too now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll bring this out for special people. So
Hey, well, I appreciate that. Like I said, my sports hall of fame ring, my ring from Wenonah, 2015. I ended up helping on the women's side of Lawson State, so we won the state championship that year. So
okay,
I can't wear them all the
yeah,
time, but every now and then I wear one out, and especially when I'm going to recruit.
you gotta show it
Yeah,
to me now.
especially when I go try to recruit somebody I definitely want to get, I put one of the rings on.
So let's talk about this. You are in the Hall of Fame at Miles College. Man, what was that like? I mean, to just be recognized for the hard work as a student athlete must be just amazing.
Just another surprising accomplishment because I didn't
Yeah.
really think I ever get that opportunity. But now, to have that gold jacket, sometimes my coaching staff will
Yeah.
explain to the kid that they don't have a gold jacket. Coach, how I feel to put on a gold jacket, even though it's on SIAC Division II school. But just the fact to be recognized among some great guys, still
Mhm.
contribute to the Sports Hall of Fame and still be a part of it. Don't get a chance to go to many meetings because most time they have meetings on Thursday. Don't practice in or playing. So my conference is Mondays and Thursdays. So, but
Mm-hmm.
all of them still, keeps me involved, and I still, like I said, participate, keep my dues up and everything. So, anytime you go out on the website, you see your name, it
That's all
speaks
right.
volume for what you done accomplished. So it's
Absolutely.
special. And, I got, I think on Miles' current roster, I think I got 3 players on the current roster that played for me at Gadsden State. So I still give back because I'm still
Hey,
sending
hey,
guys over there.
that's all right. Now you've won at every level, so far. And I know that you're very humble about it. And, I want to point that out because humility helps you to, go to the next level. So for any young athlete dreaming of playing at that next level, what advice would you give them for preparing and, even to things that you were looking for in a student athlete to be able to, play on your team or advise them because I'm sure you tell other coaches and things about student athletes. What would you say to a young player who's striving to get to that next level?
Well, I'll tell them anything. First of all, I'll tell them to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom because you're a student athlete, student first athlete second. And what we look for, my coaches, they're allowed to recruit talent and I only recruit a special type of kid when I go out now in this stage of my career. It's got to be something special that they say I need to go and close the deal with bringing my experience and my tactness of doing this so long. But I look for a kid that's independent. I look for a
Mhm.
kid that's kind of has the same grade or mentality that I had when I played high school and college, and just a special kid. Leadership role. I played point guard, so in the point guard, I look for a kid
You played
that
point D?
yeah, I played. Just got a little weight on me now, but I played point
What?
guard. But
Okay.
I think I hadn't had a team that I want a better free throw shooter than anybody on my team at my age now. So I can outshoot my
Hey.
team now. Free throw that because you don't have to run and shoot. You don't have to run to do that, and it's free. And I try to take advantage of anything that's free. But I look for a kid that's independent, a kid characteristic leadership, and I mentally tough. And you always want to recruit a kid that you can relate to. And I can look at my point guards, maybe the last 6 years. Some of them I recruited personally, and I saw me in them, and I tell them that, and you know, uh, and that's what I got to go out and find right now. So it's a point guard. And like I told my staff,
Mm.
I will go out and find a point guard. Because the point guard, I tell point guard, Patrick Mahomes, he plays football, but he's a point guard. Josh Allen, people like that, Dak Prescott, they are leaders. A point
Yep.
guard is like a quarterback of a team leaders. Everybody's going to listen to him because you always remind the forward and the center on your team. I'm the one going to have the ball in my hand 80, 90% of the time. So you be nice to me, I'm going to share it with you.
Right. That's
So
right.
yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah, that's a position that I played too, and I remember one of your students. Ask about him all the time. Oh, Shannon.
yeah, matter of fact, Shannon, one of the kids I say came back and wrote the concession stand for the first game.
That's cool.
Calls me all the time. He's at Miles. I made sure he was hand delivered to Miles. I went to the signing, and when I told Coach Watson, I said, hey, I told him the year before, if you want it, I'm gonna make sure you get him. And he got him, and he loved
Mhm.
Miles. He told me that the other night on the telephone, and he told me an interesting statement that most of my players and fans, he said, Coach, I thought you was off the chain crazy. He said, man, we practiced 3 times last Friday, 3 times. And I said, well, he said, but you doing that to me while I was there, prepared me. I just had to suck it up for one more practice. Because
Mhm.
one day I did practice twice. I practiced after the game if that's what it takes. So me and my players have a great relationship. I told my AD the other day, I'm a player's coach. So I can
Mm.
coach the game, but I can relate to what's going on with the players on and off the floor.
No, things have changed like drastically since, we played and stuff back in the day with the introduction with NIL and all of that and how it has, caused you to think about sports, a little differently. And kids are starting much younger now because of the potential opportunities that NIL has introduced. So, first question as it relates to that in NIL, when do you think the best time would be for a young student athlete to, really start taking things seriously, where, you start getting like extra coaching and extra training in the off season? You might get a personal strength and conditioning coach and things like that where, parents would start investing, a little bit more in that athlete's development. When do you think that, that sweet spot, that sweet age would be for a student athlete?
Maybe sixth grade,
Man, okay.
12
Wow.
years old, because you're
Okay.
making a change going into school ball. Then you no
Mm,
more, you're not getting into, playing at the YMCA, the reg league, maybe the sixth grade because you're playing, at a middle school, getting ready for high school. So maybe the sixth grade. But I still tell people the best development for a kid is ninth grade.
okay.
I don't care how good a kid is in Pee Wee, running the football, shooting all the basket. Kid really won't show because you're making a big jump from middle school to high school. So that's a jump. A 12th grader going into college right now is still behind because it's less teaching now than it is when we played. It's more
Mm,
athleticism and it's more what we call it oohs and ahs. So right now we're actually going back to developing because a lot of kids are going. It's sad when a kid comes to college and say, "Coach, we only played the 2-3 zone in high school," but he has to play what the coach has. I mean,
mhm,
and now when you come to college, I tell kids first thing you do when you come to college, when your parents drop you off, your grandmother, you get out of college, you bring in your trophies and your awards. Another person parents are pulling up with their trophies and rewards. So in college, the playing field is equal.
mhm,
So you was a starter, or you was the go-to person. You might come to a college, end up being a nice backup. So you have to recruit for what you need. You don't go get a
mhm.
bunch of A players on your team. Now, if you're trying to win, I'm not trying to continue to win. I'm trying to develop. See, I don't want that same person. He was you wore basketball shorts because when you're 23, 24, work for the city of Birmingham or the city of Gadsden, you can't wear the shorts to work. You got to know how
Right.
what a belt is and tucking your shirt in your pants. What a
Mm.
blazer is. You got to know that if you choose to do a work where you're wearing a uniform, you want to make sure your uniform will for Alabama Power or Spire or something. So try to develop and lead that into the minds of my players more so than I can end up going to Alabama A&M, Alabama State or something.
Now, do you think that that's, some of the, I guess the biggest challenges, will be is getting those athletes to really realize that, you will probably have a life after basketball versus having a life still playing basketball and with NIL and things like that. Cause I mean, to me, it just seems like, you know, that like you were saying, that whole development part is missing,
That's
you
mentioned.
know?
But
Yeah.
well, like I tell people, just like I tell a man or I tell a woman, it's somebody out there for everybody. So might not be the fit for me, but it might be a fit for someone else. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna bring you to Gadsden State if you got your own agenda. If you're not part of what I say our agenda, the Gadsden
Mm,
State way, Coach Tarver way, men's basketball way. You can't come to gas. We don't have not one name on our board for 26, 27. And people say, well, we don't need it right now because we got 11 returning freshmen and two kids sitting out. So we already got a roster of 13 kids. I just had two commitments. So I got a full roster. I done had two kids to sign with me early. So right now, we would still go out and look, but right now we kind of satisfied for what we have in place for the next season. So we
mhm.
got what we need now. That's fortunate. More teams can't say that. And I'm still out of those three sophomores that's on the team. All three of them will walk across that stage in May and get an associate degree because I
That's
do
all
about
right.
90%. And they've been thinking that's one accolade I get every year from administration.
Mhm.
Always graduating kids.
And that's the most important because you want to
To
produce.
me and to a parent, when I tell grandmama, when I said, I'm gonna make sure you get a college degree, I'm gonna make sure they get that because they ain't for that, for being a student first. We
Hmm.
got some penalties for not wanting to be a student first.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it needs to be. Now, D, as far as the local community, because you are involved in the community heavily, and people around, the city of Gadsden in particular, they know Coach Tarver. You walk in any establishment, they know Coach Tarver. Why is that so important, to you? And then how are you, putting and instilling that philosophy into your players? And then on top of it, how would you advise other coaches and people who are involved in athletics to root and stuff in the community like you do?
Well, what I do is I try to go out and be seen. I try to do things to keep, get my kids involved. And like I said, for going the hall room monitors at the elementary schools and the middle schools. We go to read sometime to the kids. We just go get the teachers a break sometime at school because they need a break too. But we just try
Yeah.
to go. I just try to take the guys around, the younger kids, that inspires the kids to say, oh, that's all of them play basketball, different different nationalities, because I got a various nationalities, so they get a chance to see that could be me. You can, as long as we can make a kid or make even the young lady smile when we go to the schools, and that's the same way I am in the community. I go out and I try to be nice and I try to talk to everybody, and it's just amazing when even the police officer, public safety at school, or even some
Mm.
professor they will say, now, I call Coach Talk, and the guys will pretty much tell them, I'd rather for you to give me a punishment for you to tell Coach Talk, because punishment gonna be
Wow.
double standard.
Okay.
So, and when they
Okay.
say, I don't have any problem with your guy, they come to class, I see them, they speaking, they respect. When you get that, you feel like almost like your job is done when you get
Mm-hmm.
that all the time. So that's what we just do in the community. We just respectful away from the school. And I, like I tell you, you represent the school, you represent your parents, you represent yourself. So if you do those three things, I hadn't had any additional problems. So I really don't know how to deal with it. That's a good and a bad this year. Because
Right. Right.
Bobby Brown said if the police officer and nobody in the administration of the dorm ain't calling you on Saturday, that means it's a problem. But
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't had any problems. So I'm thankful for that. And we want to just continue, our success. And I want to, invite the community around, surrounding areas. I got teams from St. Clair County, Jefferson County, uh, as well as Rome, Georgia coming over. I just want, it's something good going up on the hill. And we just ask for your continued support, around in the area and in the state.
Well, I can tell you, you are intense, and your teams are fun to watch. They
Right.
fun to watch, and you get the best out of them. And what's funny is when they make a mistake, because they do playing that bad decision can turn over the ball or whatever the case is. You get them on the bench and tell them a little something something, and then they go out and you see immediate adjustment. And I applaud you for that because they listen.
I
They're
appreciate it.
not out there just playing ball. They are out there disciplined. They really are coachable and teachable, and I think that is a testament to the way that you are coaching those guys. And like I said, it's just fun to watch them. It's
That's what
fun to watch
I
them,
appreciate it.
and I get a kick out of saying, "Oh, he going to the bench. D's not going. D ain't gonna take that. He going to, he going to the bench." But yeah, it's fun to watch you do your thing as the coach, and it's fun to watch them play. What's your vision for the future of Gadsden State basketball, and then what you would like to see as far as the program and the support and stuff from the community?
Well, I like to see continue to get some great, young men there, continue to graduate them. I just want to, the basketball program I would say it was, the crowd was up, then it was down when I took over. Now they back up, upper echelon in the conference. I just want them to continue to continue to come in with the mindset that I'm gonna work hard, and I'm gonna get the best out of you. And like I said, I hope it continue on when I'm either retired, dead and gone. I want to just continue to be, in the mix, or people in the community still talk about, Gadsden State. And as far as support, I just ask for the school to continue to do what they're doing. I know they will, as long as we doing what we're supposed to do for its community service and still, high academics. And I just ask for prayers and support. That's for me. If I get that, I'm gonna continue to go because every day I wake up, I choose. If life is choices and decisions, I choose
Amen.
and make the decision to be a better person and make somebody else better.
That's what's up. Now tell us again about the tournament that's happening.
Tournament is November 21st and 22nd. It's a rebirth for the Gadsden State Classic. So we got teams from Edgewater County, Jefferson County, St. Clair County, Blount County, as well as team from Georgia, from Rome, Georgia, which is about 53 minutes away. There is be 3 games Friday, November 21st, and 3 games Saturday, November 22nd.
Okay. All right.
And you can check the
And people,
website and different social media outlets for the schedule, games, and times.
and the Gadsden State Community College men's basketball team will be hitting the hardwood. We want you to definitely support Coach Tarver and the team. I've met some of those guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they produce this year. I feel like it's just going to be a great season for them to build with the freshmen, but also give you some really, really exciting basketball and something to look forward to next season too. So definitely get out and watch those guys and support, because they're right here in the heart of the community and they're doing some great things, and Coach Tarver is producing leaders. Last words, Coach Tarver, before we close out the episode.
We got several Gadsden State athletics page. That's Gadsden State Athletic. We have an X account / Twitter, whatever they still call it. Is at
Right.
GSCCMB. You can follow us on that, and we have Urban Ham that keeps our games and stuff out there. But we right up on the hill, 1001 Wallace Drive, Beck Gymnasium. If you can't remember Gadsden State Athletics, just go to Gadsden State. It'll automatically pull up athletics, and you can check us out.
Well, cannot wait. And so y'all
All
make
right.
sure that you support, tell everybody, like, share, comment, and support Coach Tarver. But this episode, of course, I'm so happy that we got a chance to, spotlight what Coach Tarver and the guys are doing at Gadsden State. But yes, please like, share, comment, tell somebody about the Pell City Podcast. Follow us on all social media platforms, because we are there. You can listen to episodes on all podcast platforms or wherever you get your podcast. And of course, watch full episodes on YouTube. Coach Tarver, I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you.